Welcome one and all to ETF Investing Australia. This is the weekly overview show where we look at the week from the 8th to the 12th of July 2012. We will be focusing on the mighty exchange traded funds. Stick around. This will just be a quick overview, very educational. Hi guys, this is Scott. I know that most people are scared to start investing because they think they'll lose all their damn money. This show is designed to give you some basic information to demystify the world of personal finances. I want to give you the help and courage to take the leap and invest in yourself for yourself. My job here is to help you guys out. Hey, with that being said, can you guys give me a like and subscribe, and also click on the bell because that'd be a great help to me because I'm helping you guys. Thanks. Okay, let's have a look at the ASX ETF top performers. Quickly on the left hand side here we can see the top ETFs by 1 week total return. So what went up at the most last week? Number one here we saw BetaShares crude oil ETF currency hedge with the code 000, and that was up 4.7%, followed up there by BetaShares commodity basket ETF. There's also currency hedged, code there is QCB, and that one was up 2.5%. Then we saw BetaShares Australia a global gold miners ETF, and that's hedged. We can see here the code is MNRS, and that was up 2.5% as well. Followed along here by BetaShares Agriculture ETF currency hedged with a code here of QAG, up 2.4%. Number 5 on our little list here is BetaShares Australia Equities Strong Bear Fund. That one had BBOZ as a code. That was up 2.2%. Swooping across now to the top ETFs by 12 months total return. We can see here the number one total return for the 12-month period is BetaShares Geared Australian Equity Fund. The code here is GAER. We're up 51.9%. If you want to see a rundown on GEAR, flick across to my latest daily show. You'll be able to get a update or a run through on that one as well. So followed up there is BetaShares Gear, the US Equity Fund, the currency hedged. That one is GGUS with the code here, up 48.7% for the 12 months. Followed up by VanEck Vector's China New Economy ETF. The code here is CNEW, and that one is up 30.5%. Our top weekly mover here comes in at number 4 on the 12-month total return chart here. So that's the BetaShares Crude Oil ETF currency hedge, code 000. Followed up by the BetaShares Global Sub-Security ETF with the code HACK, up 29% for the year. We can see a lot of commodities being the flavour of the month last week. I should say flavour of the week because we're looking at the week. And that's probably due to the uncertainty in the general markets. Quick look here at the ASX ETF money flows. Top ETFs by 1 week flow. We saw BetaShares Australia ETF, that is A200. We saw $60.5 million. Getting ahead of myself there. Number 2 here is VanEck Vector's MSCI World X Australia Equity ETF with a QUAL as the code. We saw $15.4 million inflow into that one. BetaShares Australia Investment Grade Corporate Bond ETF, CRED. We saw $13 million inflow for that one. iShares Core Composite Bond ETF, IAF. We saw $11.9 million of funds inflow to that one. BetaShares Australia High Interest Cash ETF, AAA, which we've already talked about. That one saw an inflow of $10.1 million. For those who don't know much about BetterShares Australia BetterShares Australia 200 ETF. If I can get my brain working here with a code of A200. This is probably the quickest growing ETF on the market. It's definitely stealing away market share from the other funds that focus on the ASX 200. So this one tracks the Sole Active Australia 200 index, which is a little bit different to what the other typical funds typically tend to track. So that one's market weighted according to free float market capitalization. That one's got a market cap of about $573 million. Dividend yield is small, but still get a bit of money in your pocket, 2.6%, and Morningstar give it a bronze rating. Flip across to top ETFs by year-to-date flows. Number one here we saw BetterShares Australia Interest Cash ETF, so that's AAA. That's quite a popular ETF. $282.1 million inflow year to date, followed there by Vanguard Australia Index, Shares Index, I should say, and that's has a code there of VAS. We saw inflows to date of $252.6 million. Up next is Vanguard MSCI Index International Series, VGS. That one's seen inflows of $231.5 million. Then followed up by Vanguard Australia Fixed Interest Index, VAF, $208.3 million inflows. Then number 5 here on the list is iShares Core Composite Bond ETF, IAF. And that one saw inflows of $177.9 million. So you can kind of see what the trend is here. People are typically moving money into fixed interest type of products. So, you know, the AAA's features on both sides. You've got CRED, you've got composite bond funds, so IAF. They pretty much, people are sort of starting to get possibly a little bit worried, so they're trying to move their money into more safer assets, I should say. So ASX ETF trading volumes. So who had the greatest volumes? So top ETFs by 1 week average daily turnover. We saw BetterShares Australia High Interest Cash ETF, so AAA, that one's back on the list again, so $19.4 million average daily turnover, average weekly turnover, I should say. Then the Vanguard Australia Shares Index ETF, VAS, that one had average weekly turnover of $14.6 million. Then we saw up next in third place here is State Street Spider S&P ASX 300 Fund, STW, $13.5 million average weekly turnover. Up next, we saw the Vanguard Australia Property Securities Index ETF, VAP. That one has an average weekly turnover of $12.3 million. Number 5 spot here is iShares S&P ASX 200 ETF, IOZ, with a 1 week average daily turnover of $10.4 million. Flipping over to the other side here on our list here, top ETFs by year-to-date average daily turnover. Looking at daily turnover and an average for the year here. So State Street Spider S&P ASX 200 Fund, STW, tops out the list here at 14.5, and we've got that followed up there by the BetterShares Australia High Interest Cash ETF AAA, $13.2 million. Then the Vanguard Australia Shares Index ETF VAS with $11.3 million turnover. Then number 4 is the iShares Core S&P 500 with code there of IVV. It has a year-to-date average daily turnover of $6.8 million. In the number 5 spot here, we can see BShares Australia 200 ETF. As mentioned before, that one has a code of 200. Year-to-date average daily turnover of $5.5 million. Probably don't really need to go into much more detail on those ones. So weekly highlights, just a quick little summary of some of the things I've probably already covered anyway, but just a quick touch on some things here. So the best performers over the previous 12 months, ETFs, physical palladium, with the code here of ETPMPD, and that one is up a very, very healthy 47.2%. And VanEck Vector's Australia Property ETF, that one's been flying lately. Code there of MVA, and that one is up 30.1%. We can actually see what the hell's going on now because I looked across here. So inflows for the week totaled $258 million, and outflows quite larger outflows than last week from memory, $107 million. So inflow, all the inflow is the amount of money that came into the market, the ETF market this week, and the outflows obviously is the reverse. So that's the amount of money that people have taken out. So if you subtract the outflows from the inflows, you get the total. So you get what's actually, the difference. So what's actually come into the market as a net. Notably, State Street Spider S&P ASX 200 fund STW had outflows of 81.9 million, and BetaShares Australia ETF A200 had inflows of 60.5 million. As we kind of touched on before, cash bonds and gold ETFs also saw steady inflows, as we mentioned before. Definitely the bonds, we saw also a lot of movement in there for the miners and things like that too. So ETFs chasing or covering miners, I should say, had some inflows as well, good inflows. Over the week, BShares Crude Oil Index ETF, currency hedge OO returned 4.7%, and BShares Commodities Basket ETF, currency hedged, that one has a code there of QCB, was up 2.5%. So the worst performers were robotics and property ETFs, even though we said the VanEck Vector's Australian Property ETF, MVA, is up 30.1%. BShares Global Robotics and Artificial Intelligence ETF, code RBTZ, end of the week down 3.5%. That's pretty much the roundup for this week. Hopefully it was worthwhile. Thanks for sticking around to the end. Yeah, so this is our standard disclaimer. We're not promoting any particular product here, purely informational purposes to give you guys an overview on the market and what's happening. We always need to do our own research, so you don't want to be buying one product just because you've only looked at one product, and also, you need to take your own personal financial objectives into account, and where needed, get additional advice from a professional. Hey, thanks for taking the time and sticking around to the end of the video. I enjoy producing these videos for you guys. I actually learn a lot of information myself. It keeps me up to date with what's happening in the market. If you like what I'm doing, please give me a thumbs up, hit the subscribe, also jingle the bell. That'll let you know when the next video is coming. Greatly appreciate your time once again. Thank you very much. Have a great day. Ciao.